sometimes you just gotta have some fun. And tonight's one of those nights. 6 p.m. Could be playing Guild Wars. Instead, I'm going live with absolutely no plan whatsoever. We're trying out Restream this time around for starters because I kind of, over the course of December, used up all my StreamYard time. So, yeah, no StreamYard time available. But that's fine. I didn't need to stream that much, or maybe I did. I don't know. But right, I had no real plan when I started this, and I still don't quite have a plan. So I feel like as we get started, I'm just going to watch this slightly silly. Let's do a little toggle here. There we go. Um, this video, are you a Star Wars fan? This little 50 questions everyone should know because I watch a lot of random Star Wars videos recently. So I thought I might just want to have a little fun with this while the stream gets going because we're here just kind of to hang out and goof around and do whatever for a little while. At least that's the plan. Right, let's get to it.
Welcome to Lessons in Portions. Today we bring you a video about the Star Wars saga. You will
And yes, I know this is going to be robo voice, bland as anything slop. I'm doing it for the laughs because it got suggested to me. So please don't take me doing this seriously. I'm just here to have fun and goof around, like I said, before the stream really gets going. So let's just see.
will have to test your knowledge by answering 50 questions. Are you ready?
This is the point, though. Like, I was going to watch this just for a little laugh earlier when I got home. And I saw subscribe, and I'm like, oh, God, this is gold. This is going to be so ridiculous. And we got Zach in the chat. Hello, my friend. Welcome to the party. Hopefully, Restream is doing all right. Let me know if there's any issues. I'm using HOVIND's tool of the devil to broadcast on YouTube because that's my platform because I don't feel like dealing with anything else like freaking TikTok. And yeah, we're gonna get to HOVIND. I'm just killing some time and having fun before I subject myself to that because honestly, I have not been feeling well the past few days at all. But we're gonna have some fun. That's the whole point of this. Hang out, enjoy ourselves. Answer along to the questions. If you like Star Wars, let's do this.
So, good
But remember, you gotta subscribe first. There's no B, because B's are for losers.
luck.
First question. What is Darth Vader's original name?
I'm sure you all know. Because it's Anakin Skywalker.
Anakin Skywalker before his fall to the dark side.
Oh man, I'm sorry. It must just be a side effect of getting over a couple of days of just feeling really crummy. Like, we're talking like depression because, man, this is just hilarious to me. And that's good to hear so far. Everything tech-wise is good. I'm liking Restream so far. I'm not saying it's going to... StreamYard has this friendlier feel to it. But, yeah, it's totally Luke. Because he's in the Bible. That's Ken Hovind's favorite Star Wars character is Luke because he wrote the Bible because it took place in a galaxy a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That was Jesus's time in galaxy, and Luke is like, yeah. Actually, it's funny that the whole Anakin thing is really somewhat of a Jesus allegory in a weird way. Like, you really have to think like way outside the box for it, but it's got that symbology, immaculate conception construct. That's the key thing. But then, symbology of them bringing balance and stuff. It's an interesting thought. And Lucas didn't sort of intend it that way. It just kind of worked as a story motivator, from my understanding. Like, it was intentional, but it wasn't by design, if that makes sense. It wasn't trying to push a message.
Who trained Luke Skywalker in the Jedi arts?
That would be stunt coordinator Billy Mays here. It was yo 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 Yoda. I mean, it's not hard because the other two are fucking dead.
Yoda, the wisest Jedi Master.
Was he though? Because he still couldn't see Sidious coming.
Let's go with this one. What ship did Han Solo pilot?
So we have an entire class of vehicle, or Millennium Fall. I'm gonna go with the Fall. Oh, this is
The Millennium Falcon, the fastest ship in the galaxy.
Like, it's not, but the fact that I'm taking it seriously, but not taking it seriously is what's hilarious to me. I'm just like, whatever, we're having fun. Sorry, I'm overthinking everything here. My brain's been like just on fire with just random thoughts. That happens when you get depressed. Anyone else out there deal with depression and you just, when you're in that funk, you don't want to associate with people, but you still got to go do your job, do your life, and it's like your brain just fires on all cylinders. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Think carefully. What planet is the home of the Wookiees?
Now see, this is a good question because this gets into, not to say deeper lore, because it's mentioned in Revenge of the Sith, but it's still something you have to pay attention to because it's still newer Star Wars than the original trilogy. And of course, it's Kashyyyk. Endor is, well, Endor is funny because they call it the forest moon of Endor. So Endor is supposed to be a gas giant that moon is orbiting, and thus the Death Star is orbiting that gas giant, but you never see the gas giant, oddly enough. But a lot of people just call the moon Endor. Dagobah is, of course, the planet where Yoda was hanging out, and Kashyyyk's the Wookiee planet. But Endor is a funny answer because it's like, well, do you mean the planet? Do you mean the moon? Because, I mean, like technically we say Ewoks live on Endor. I think you're technically incorrect, but that's neither here nor there. It's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Kashyyyk, a planet of towering forests.
I mean, question-wise and answer-wise, these are designed, and we're starting with the easy questions. I guarantee there's going to be stuff I'm just like, who the hell? What the hell? What the fuck is that? Because I know only cursory bit of Legends stories, the good stuff. And I care little about new canon. So, I'm kind of out in the dark when it comes to stuff, I know extended universe characters like Mara Jade, I know the gist of what happens to like Han and Leia's kids, Luke's deals with Luke's life, the Yuuzhan Vong, a bit of Heir to the Empire type stuff, little pieces here and there, little fragments. Oh, you're not going to narrate the question? Who is the Sith leader in the prequel trilogy? Darth Sidious. Should have used the clip where Palpatine was saying, "Do it." But, or they could have used honestly, instead of Empire Sidious, they could have used Revenge of the Sith Sidious. And I say Empire, I meant Return of the Jedi Sidious, but yeah. Oh, this is a nice trick question. We don't know. I mean, we know Grogu, we know Yoda, and we know that other member of the species that was on the Jedi Council. And I think there's a few others out there. But yeah, no idea what that species name is. As far as Knights of the Old Republic, only in very light passing. As in, I had it installed on my modded Xbox and messed around a little bit with the first one, and never did take the time to get into it. I just did have the opportunity when the games were new, not something that crossed my radar. And I got left in the dust, and it's one of those things I hadn't been able to go back to. Maybe one day, but, Guild Wars.
You probably know this one who said, "I am your father."
No, Luke, I am your father. Would of course Luke would have looked in the mirror and called himself his own daddy. Would you convert me to the dark side? I'd convert me to the dark side. And of course, it was Darth Vader.
Darth Vader, in one of cinema's most iconic moments.
It is a pretty cool moment. I remember my first time actually getting to watch the trilogy on VHS, like all together, and actually paying attention, because like I'd seen, TV references, and they had been on TV, but I didn't care. And with commercials and stuff, I couldn't stay interested. But having the VHS tapes there when I was like 10, finally getting a good chance to watch through, I would take the VCR and cut back at that moment over and over and be like, wow, this is the moment they've been referencing, in all these little shows and stuff I'd seen. When you're 10 years old, a few years feels like forever. And, I took that moment in as like, wow, that is really impressive, kind of twist. Like I knew it was coming and it was still awesome to see. That's one of those things you kind of hate. Like, watching Star Wars, unless you live under a rock, that's not going to be a big reveal to you. It's like watching Terminator 2, and somehow not knowing that the T-800 is the good guy in Terminator 2. It's like that twist is so good, and it's ruined for Terminator. It was ruined by the damn advertising for the film. That fucking sucked. Still doesn't make the reveal of him being the good guy any less awesome.
What's next? Which planet is destroyed by the Death Star?
Well, technically a couple of them, depending on which canon you go by, but Alderaan's the right one out of this selection.
Alderaan, home to Princess Leia.
Ooh, see, this one annoys me. Because, yes, Anakin built C-3PO as a child, but even in stuff I was watching today as I was just, killing some time, it goes through the details on how he basically pieced him together from various components. I always look at the droid names as more of model/variations, and I honestly feel there are multiple C-3POs out there, that would be a particular identifier for that configuration of, droid brain and other components. And obviously, 3PO has been modified to hell and back, but that's neither here nor there. That particular identifier, that unit, Anakin did put it together, but from constituent parts. He didn't just craft it out of nothing, like people always wanted, like back when the prequels were done, and it's like, oh, he built C-3PO. It's like, it was from parts. I thought of it as more like from a kit, not literally, but in principle. And of course, my friends thought I was stupid for suggesting that he would have used, parts he found lying around, living in basically a scrapyard, to build the droid from components, since we see other droids, so we know good and well he didn't magically fabricate all that stuff and forge the plates and such. It's obviously pre-constructed parts by whichever company built C-3PO originally in that entire line of protocol droid. I forget the name, but yeah. Just one of those things that always irked me. It's like, Anakin built C-3PO. It's like, yeah, like you built a Lego kit. You didn't forge the bricks by hand, did you? Sorry, I'm a bit of an obsessive nerd when it comes to Star Wars. What a surprise! A guy who likes Star Wars is a bit of an obsessive, opinionated nerd on it. Film at 11.
Here's a tricky one. What is the name of the order that annihilates the Jedi?
It's not a tricky one, and I think Orders 65 and 67 are both explained. At least one of them is, if not both. But it's Order 66 with a large Coke this time. I'm thirsty, damn it.
Order 66, carried out by the clone troopers. Think fast. What type of droid is R2-D2?
Astromech. Although, given the kind of equipment that thing's packing, he could be used for battle and honestly survive. Dude's fucking indestructible.
An astromech droid, crucial in rebel missions.
Yes, because since the rebels used hit and run tactics with snub fighters, while these would be equipped with hyperdrives oftentimes, they certainly wouldn't have their own built-in navicomputers, and thus protocol droids, astromech droids were critical for storing those various coordinates for navigating to certain points, like the target, like back to base, back to a backup base, other places in case something goes wrong. Because the calculations to make hyperspace jumps are pretty fucking crazy, apparently. Now, I'm pretty sure everything in the Star Wars universe still runs with vacuum tubes. So, get processor speeds in the, thousands of cycles per second. But still,
This one's interesting. What color is Mace Windu's lightsaber?
Mace Windu got that purple saber, yo! He's like, I want a lightsaber and I want it purple. Supposedly the hilt says bad motherfucker or badass motherfucker on it. Hadn't been confirmed, but I'd believe it.
Purple, the only one of its kind among the Jedi. What's the name of the Jedi planet in the original Council?
It's not the Jedi. Wait, what? 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 What language is this question in? What is the name of the Jedi planet in the original Council? Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna chalk this up to broken English being beautiful because it actually makes complete sense. What planet is the original Jedi Council on is what this is trying to say. And somewhere along the lines, just like the subside earlier, it got so broken. Kind of love it. Obviously, it's Coruscant is where the Jedi Council was, that being the core of the entire Republic. Mustafar being the... Was Mustafar a planet or was Mustafar another moon? I forget. But of course, where Vader had his fortress, where he had his fall, and of course, where Sith Wayfinder was, if you bother to pay attention to Rise of Skywalker. If you didn't know in Rise of Skywalker, that's where the opening scene with all the ash rain tree stuff going on with Kylo Ren is. It's fucking Mustafar. And Tatooine's a desert planet that Disney now thinks is the center of the Star Wars universe because, where's my keys? Yeah. Key jingling.
Coruscant, the political hub of the galaxy.
Coruscant. I can't even blame the text-to-speech for that. It's Chewbacca. We all know it's Chewbacca. Which really kind of makes no sense why he has a crossbow laser that has the bow. But whatever. It apparently packs a hell of a punch.
Can you guess this one? Who is the Princess of Alderaan?
Yeah. We know this. Oh my god, it took me forever to realize that said Amidala. The font threw me off so much. Wow. I mean, we know it's Leia, but yeah. An Asajj Ventress. Well, they're throwing real names in there.
Leia Organa, a leader of the rebellion. Let's go with this. Which Sith uses a double-bladed lightsaber?
I mean, Darth Maul is famous for it. Vader and Sidious certainly didn't. They didn't use the double ender. Darth Maul was all about that. Darth Maul had a 15-foot saber. HOVIND.
Darth Maul with his unforgettable weapon.
Which was so cool back in '99 to see, because it had never, all we ever saw were the normal lightsabers, and now everyone's got a fancy-ass custom lightsaber. It's like, fuck Disney, you made everything boring.
Here's a fun fact. What are midichlorians?
Well, now hang on. Hang on a second. Because A is a subset of C, and midichlorian counts can in a way be used as B. So the answer is actually D, George Lucas's fervid nightmare. Although I think he had the idea way back in the day in the original Journal of the Wills concept. I mean, they're C, a life form. They're not intrinsically A. Just A is a subset of C. And like I said, yeah, you can measure them to use the force. And honestly, I don't even hate the midichlorian thing. I always took it as more of they were attracted and more prevalent in force sensitive beings, and it was kind of a feedback loop, if you will. That's the way I always took it, so it didn't really bother me, but it did demystify the force some.
They measure force sensitivity.
Yeah, I'm giving Restream a go only because I completely used all of my StreamYard time. Like, I'd have maybe 15 more minutes of time were I on there. Sidious did use 2 in the Clone Wars TV, so I know he kept 2 lightsabers on him. Lost one during the fight with Mace Windu. So we presume he was using his backup with Yoda, and we presume he only ever had the one left over, unless he did build another one. But yeah, he did have 2 at once. So there's that. And Dooku had the curved ones, which I think Sidious had kind of curved, more concealed ones. Wield a concealed carry lightsaber. Phantom, what you WTFing about? I'm goofing around on some Star Wars stuff. I don't feel like dealing with HOVIND yet. Well, I mean, I've got the LBS Discord set up. Yeah. I still got to go around and give that a go sometime. I just yeah, I've not quite felt like it for like a group thing. I just figured, like, the only reason I'm using this, honestly, putting the comments on the on the screen. That's it. Just because I like this feature in these streaming software. Otherwise, I could care less. But I like to show what you guys have to say.
Think carefully. Who kills Han Solo?
Kylo Ren, sadly. And I liked Kylo Ren as a character, generally speaking. I do find it weird that a guy who's like towards 30 was playing what amounts to an angsty teenager. But I actually thought there was a lot there to work with, because it was so cool, the idea of having someone who is so emotionally unstable being that force sensitive. But of course, they did what they did with the story. I mean, it should have been Kylo Ren being Kylo Ren, and honestly, Finn becoming some kick-ass Jedi through a story analogous to Luke. With Rey, having her own purpose in the story, sure. But still being a main character, sure, you can do that. But yeah, the way they did it was all just wrong to me. Yeah, as far as Star Wars trivia, I felt like doing this for a while just to have some fun, and then maybe we'll go to 0645 2017. Yeah, Last Jedi messed up so much stuff. And I don't hate Last Jedi as a film. I actually do kind of enjoy it. But I just generally don't like Rey. I don't like scenes involving Rey. I do think they did Luke dirty. Although seeing him go into a broody situation like that isn't entirely not like it's not something I couldn't see him doing if he felt a true defeat, but the way they went about it didn't work for me. That's my thing. Yeah, The Last Jedi had a direction that could have worked, but Rise of Skywalker ruined it. And I'm not going to give them shit over, the ships use fuel. It's like they always used fuel. It just never became an issue plot wise. Oh, they're tracking through hyperspace. Whatever. There's ways to do it. It's written into the story. There you go. Yeah, they made the First Order way too impressive and way better than the Empire by default. But, yeah, Rise of Skywalker just, oh, man. And, when you watch it, you feel the pacing. And it's like, this has the same bad pacing as the 1990 Spider-Man cartoon, if anyone remembers that, where it was just scene after scene after scene. Like, it's structured almost like modern brain rot for like tablet kids is, where it's just constant noise, constant scenes, just stuff crammed in. That was Spider-Man in the 90s, that cartoon, and that same pacing was used for Rise of Skywalker. Finn is 2020's juxtaposition of the dumb blonde sidekick. Yeah, like they just completely fucked over Finn come the second film. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Finn deserved so much better. And John Boyega is right to be as pissed as he is about how they did him. Damn fine actor, had a cool character concept. I mean, that needed to be it, honestly, was follow the stormtrooper. But no. Ridiculous.
Kylo Ren in an emotional scene.
Gungan. Also, I am pro Sith Jar Jar. I mean, technically it's A and C, but we'll go with A since he was the one in charge. And they're going to show Force Ghost Qui-Gon. You got Liam Neeson 20 years later. And that's the picture they choose. Oh, man. Also, it just hit me. This music is totally porn music. Straight 70s. Stereotypical. Oh, man.
Next question. What planet has 2 suns?
Well, Tatooine, obviously, but shit. Camino could have 7 for all I know.
Tatooine, home to both Anakin and Luke.
There we go, super chat from Rogue Rainbow. Before I watched, I thought Finn was going to be the main character. An ex-Stormtrooper turned Jedi just sounds so cool. Exactly. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. I got to stress the appreciation for that. Yeah. An ex-Stormtrooper, especially with the First Order backstory of being taken as a kid, having no memory of his early childhood, and only ever being trained up for Stormtrooper role, and then defecting, realizing he's force sensitive, and becoming a Jedi. So fucking awesome. And they just went nowhere with anything close to that. Even as a side story, they just dropped it wholesale after Force Awakens. Should have been obvious they were ruining things, but we didn't pick up on the clues till after the fact. We were all stupid.
Skywalker. This is a big one. Who is Darth Sidious Master?
Audience, did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Darth Sidious got him drunk and then killed that motherfucker. That's how it happened. And those big, like massive vases in Palpatine's office? One of those apparently contains Darth Plagueis' ashes. Because Darth Sidious was a Jeffrey Dahmer motherfucker. Which, interestingly enough, Dahmer had a bit of an obsession with the Emperor in Return of the Jedi and would rock back and forth while watching the scenes of him using Force Lightning in a hypnotic sort of trance. And yeah, we're going down the rabbit hole here, people. We ain't coming back out.
Darth Plagueis, the Sith legend.
Oh man, and they're showing the acolyte clip of him just barely. Don't acknowledge the acolyte. Just don't. Seeing Rebuild the Galaxy, son made me watch it. Making Jar Jar Sith was pretty funny. I'll have to check that out. Hated Jar Jar, worse than the Ewoks. I didn't like him much as a kid. I kind of like him more now, but then again, I didn't hate the prequels, but I stopped enjoying them as I got older. Uh, but then definitely post the sequels, I grew to appreciate the prequels more. Um, but it's just like I don't know. Jar Jar kind of is what it is. It just could have been worse. Slave One, although Disney doesn't want to use that name much anymore because, they, well, you know.
What cargo is Han Solo transporting at the beginning of A New Hope?
I mean, I don't think this is actually explained. I think they're just inferring that it's spices, aka drugs. I don't think it's the Ilum Stones. You think that would have been brought up? You think you'd remember something like that? I don't know. It's just like, hang on, this is kind of a malformed question because it's like it's not really in the context of the thing. It seems like Han's just waiting for something to do, and he picks up the job of carrying the old man and the farm boy off to Alderaan.
Spices, which cause trouble with Jabba the Hutt.
No, he dropped the spice overboard and owes Hutt money. That's the problem. Who was Leia's twin brother? Tom Selleck. And what is up with that Leia? Is that someone cosplaying her? That doesn't really look like Carrie Fisher. Or the picture's just weird. Oh yes, we all know Leia was from Alabama, like a certain dinosaur obsessed cult leader we know. So her twin brother was also her father, Anakin. Obviously, Luke. Oh God. Okay, now I see what y'all are talking about with that. That it cuts it off. Why does it do that? Why does it do that? Okay, we're gonna go this way. Why does it do that? My God, now I see what you were talking about. Sorry it took my dumb ass that long to realize it. So there we go. I'm back down in the corner. Hi guys. AJ, you're just mad that I'm getting views on Star Wars video thingy because I'm acting stupid and all I've done is make reference to Hovind because uh, I don't have to ride on his coattails all the time. Sometimes I can do my own thing and attract a small audience of other goobers like me. Yeah. And yes, AJ, you are correct. The prequels are better than Disney Star Wars. Seth, yo. Yes, you're welcome on that. I'm so sorry that I only just now realized that God, that it was doing that. That's just so ridiculous. Let me do the theater mode and see how that. Okay, yeah, that still leaves it good and makes it more prevalent. So that works. That works.
What is the name of the water planet home to the Kaminoans?
The Kaminoans from Camino? You guys could have tried harder on the question. Really could have tried harder. We all know the answer is Dantooine. They're on Dantooine.
Camino, the planet of advanced cloning technology.
AJ, do you have sand in your vagina? Because I hate sand. It's rough, it's coarse, and it gets everywhere.
Let's go with this one. Who builds the second Death Star?
Many Bothans died to bring us this information that it was the Empire. Also, absolutely fucking love Return of the Jedi. That's actually my favorite of the Star Wars films. Definitely one of my top films of all time. I mean, all of the 6 real ones right up there as top tier. But God, Jedi has a special place in my heart. I know Empire is the better of the 3, or the better of the films. Best of the 3, best of the 6, one could argue. But 6 is just a personal favorite because the older I get, the more I can feel that tension between Luke wanting to go to the dark side, yet simultaneously feeling there's good in his father and realizing he's going down the same path. And that last build-up, right when Luke just goes crazy, so perfect. That's no moon. It's Kent Hovind's favorite whale penis. Whale penis for 15-kilometer Death Star. It's actually tiny, but it's huge compared to other tiny Death Stars. They're, and I don't know anymore. This Hovind joke is terrible. Hovind.
The Empire as part of their strategy for domination. Here's a big one. Which Jedi sacrifices himself to help Leia and the others in A New Hope?
Mace Windu died for my star sins. That was obviously Kenobi. Kenobi knew, granted, this is only a retrospect interpretation, that during the time of A New Hope, being the only film, so it was just Star Wars. They obviously weren't twins at that point. They weren't related. But in retrospect, you see Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan look over, see the two united for the first time since their birth. And he's like, okay, things are in motion. This is it. This is time. And he warned Darth, don't strike me down. I'll become more powerful than you can imagine. And he did. And that gave Luke the chance to get that extra little bit of guidance. First few steps towards jump-starting his much-delayed Jedi training.
Obi-Wan Kenobi in a heroic act. Think carefully. Who trained Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Well, if you listen to Empire Strikes Back, it was Yoda. But if you watch the prequels, episode 1, you'll find out that it was Qui-Gon Jinn. So, technically, the answer is A, if you know the full story. I don't know, I'm just being stupid.
Qui-Gon Jinn, a wise and unconventional Jedi.
Look, hey, if you guys stick around, we might fire up some Hovind content.
This one's interesting. Which main character is an orphan from Tatooine?
This one's interesting. Is it? Or is it? Also, depending on how you define things, all of these answers could be correct in a weird bastard way. Let's just see what route they go with it. I think they're gonna wanna say Luke, but they could technically go for Anakin if they wanted to be weird about it, since his mom dies.
Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, okay, see, yeah, they went Anakin with it. Because Luke technically isn't, but I mean, once,
The Chosen One.
I think that's just maybe something lost in translation.
What's next? What is the Empire's motto?
D's, nuts. Um, I think it was B. No, actually, I think in a cynical twist, it was A. Also, that's some first order shit right there. That's not even the right empire.
Peace and order, but enforced through fear.
Yeah, they were some bastards, the empire. So I never had it happen. But did any of y'all ever have the case where, like, in elementary school, you'd have, like, let's say you're American, you had a test on, like, the states, and the teacher left the damn map, like, visible, so you could just look at the map and get your answers? That's kind of what this is. Anyone who got question, are there comments referencing question 32? 10 likes and no comments. I'm gonna change that. Oh yeah, this only has 416 views right now. Oh, I'm not even mocking this. This is just for fun.
How many main movies are in the Skywalker saga?
6. The Rey saga doesn't count.
9, from the Phantom Menace to the Rise of Skywalker.
Bob Saget. Obviously Harrison Ford. That's a really good question, honestly. I mean, I guess it's going to be mostly canonical, but that depends on how how these people, whoever they are, wherever they're from, how they interpret Star Wars and how things translate over. Also, Harrison got done dirty in the new Indiana Jones. Just saying, fuck Disney. Isn't BB-8 just kind of a rogue agent? I mean, yeah, I think the answer properly is Rey, although I feel it's kind of Poe's droid, but it always hangs around Rey, but then it doesn't. I'm going to say Poe. I feel like it companions with Rey just as much. Okay, yeah, they went with Poe, because yeah, it is technically, like, R2 is Luke's droid. R2 is Luke's droid. Actually, it's his mom's droid. Well, technically, it's property of the Naboo government, but sticks with Padme. And who cares? Droid ownership rights are weird.
Think fast. Who is Kylo Ren's father?
No one knows for sure because everyone was drunk that night. Oh, obviously C.
Han Solo, trying to bring his son back to the light. Here's a cool one. What material is essential for lightsabers?
Ooh, my friends out there. And apparently the delay in Restream is incredible because, like, you guys are a good 30 to 45 seconds off from me seeing your comments, and like, I should honestly check what the delay is. I'm sure most of you guys are gonna get this, because it's not super obscure anymore, but it's still obscure enough. It is the Kyber crystal. And I fucking love the deleted scene where Luke is building his replacement lightsaber on Tatooine. I think in Ben Kenobi's old old home, which is a mosque, by the way, like an active mosque you could go to in theory if you were in Tunisia and wanted to go to a little old mosque. Yeah. Fuck is Duracrystal? I don't know, but it's ribbed for her pleasure. And yeah, 950 subs. Let's do this shit. It's part of me doing this is just having fun and going for that big 1,000. Luke. Part of this is to prove that I could do stuff that has no relation to Kent Hovind, just to ensure that, or just to prove to him that I can, do something, get an audience, and that people come to view this because it's me and not necessarily because it's us riffing on Kent, which is gonna happen. Duracrystal sounds like it'd be like something from Star Wars. That's like a variation. People might have heard of Durasteel in Star Wars universe. So if they're not thinking well, they might think, oh, well, that would be Duracrystal. That's my guess.
Kyber crystals, which power the iconic weapons.
Darth Snoke. More like Darth Smoke. I don't know. The fuck if I know. He's a fucking clone. Botched ass clones for Palpatine because apparently that motherfucker was working on cloning tech constantly and somehow Palpatine returned. Ooh, in response to Star Wars gangster rap fans, we got a Death Star. Death Star. Luke's on probation, gets told to run to Dagobah, and then I forget the rest. Usually me and my friends were too busy laughing to remember the rest. But mainly it's the we got a Death Star that I like. And is that the motherfucking...
What ship does...
Okay, for a second I thought that was motherfucking robot chicken ass Vader. And he used the TIE Advanced X1, which featured life support systems and a hyperdrive, which proved useful when his ass got blasted away from the fucking Death Star.
Does Darth Vader use in the Battle of Yavin? The TIE Advanced, his custom fighter.
Bob Saget. No, it's obviously George Lucas. Although, I think Spielberg had some minor influence into it, if memory serves. Like, because George and him were friends, and they bounced ideas, he bounced ideas off of them. So, Spielberg had some input, memory serves.
What kind of droid is General Grievous?
I mean, he's not a droid, he's a cyborg, which is technically different from droid. And, General Grievous kind of represents the inevitable state that Anakin will find himself in as more machine than man. Because Grievous continuously sacrificed more and more of his biological components to become more powerful. Coming from a warrior culture like he did, that's just how things worked. Yeah.
A cyborg with both organic and mechanical parts.
Kent's overdone. Nobody has ever seen a Jedi produce a non-Jedi. I mean, Anakin did produce... Wait, no, Leia eventually did become a Jedi. Ki-Adi-Mundi and his family. I don't think any of the kids became Jedi. So, yeah. There you go. Oh, yeah, James Cameron. Yeah. Had he seen Infinite Star Wars? Duh. We all know episode's 5 title is Lando System, The Reckoning. It's obviously Empire Strikes Back. Are these going to get hard? I mean, again, I'm doing this for fun. I know it's pure, fucking clickbait and stuff, and it's just, some quickly produced, slop, from this channel. It just wants to provide entertainment, but it's like I'm waiting for something that's actually a challenge, and not just because of odd phrasing that's lost in translation or ambiguities.
Who leads the attack?
So the Chiari Mundi thing, ignoring the fact that the Acolyte makes him like 2,000 years old or some shit. Nah, it makes him like well over 100 though. Chiari Mundi species have relatively short lifespans, like along the ideas of 30, 40, maybe at most 50 years. And so as a thing, apparently he was allowed to have a family to continue with species propagation because they apparently also are not endangered per se. It's weird calling a sentient life form, endangered, but it's like, it's like, we make a special exception for your species because of how you guys are. So yeah, Chiari Mundi had a freaking family because, yeah. Something to that effect. I don't know. I just heard about it in passing like 2 years ago. Are these going to get hard? That's what she said. HOVIND.
Back on the second Death Star.
I mean, it's Lando system, Okay, for a second I thought that said Kyrizian, and then I realized, oh no, that is an L. That's how crappy my vision's getting. It kind of blurs with the I over there. I need to see an optometrist.
Lando Calrissian, piloting the Millennium Falcon.
And the show fucking Jango Fett actually showing weird emaciated Jango Fett kind of totally works. I mean, so see, I didn't much care per se for Clone Wars, and so I'm not sure if this is explicitly referring, because I know Commander Cody was involved with Obi-Wan. I know Rex is supposed to be a major deal. I think I'm gonna say Rex for the whole shebang. I don't know. I'm just taking a guess. I could be wrong here. We're gonna find out. And I'm clicking on the wrong window again. Okay, no, they went with Commander Cody. Okay, that's fine. I mean, he was commander for the group that Obi-Wan was in charge of. I don't know the Clone Wars structure very well. Honestly, I don't like the Clone Wars at all. Like that whole period and that whole sort of aspect of the universe, kind of don't care for it. Don't know why. It just doesn't appeal to me.
Think about this. What race is Palpatine?
Why do I have to think about this? I mean, sure, you wouldn't know what the hell he is if you saw him, post electromogrification. But you see Steve Palpatine. It's like, he better be human. Sure ain't no Twi'lek.
Human, though his actions were anything but humane.
This is a hard one, people. I mean, technically, it's Sidious, but in all practice, it's Snoke.
What Imperial vehicle is known as an AT-AT?
All-terrain armored transport, aka the Imperial Walker, which that term can imply to both the AT-ST and the AT-AT, as well as other variations that I'm not too familiar with at the moment. Although as a kid, I had the Guide to Vehicles and Vessels, the orange one. had like the T-16 and stuff drawn on it. Love that book. Central Guide to Vehicles and Vessels. Absolutely loved it. Sun Crusher. Mwah. Beautiful, beautiful machine. Love the art. Love the analysis. Just gave me so many ideas. Actually, where I learned a lot of my extended universe knowledge at that time. Just from that, because I mainly cared about the vehicles and the spacey aspects.
The walker, used for ground assaults.
I mean, technically speaking, it's neither here nor there for the, like, when a scene is shown. It's a matter of just what the grand answer is, if that makes sense to say. It's like, what's the real answer in the whole thing? I don't know. I'm just saying shit now. Friend's Halloween costume, he dressed up as one. Oh, let's continue. Ooh, the youngest knight. Was it Ezra? Was it technically Ezra? I feel like that's something they would do. That Disney would have done. Unless they mean Anakin. Well, no. We're just going to see what the answer is. Because as you can imagine, I didn't much care for Clone Wars. I didn't bother with Rebels or anything else either. All the Star Wars animated stuff, I never bothered with. Primarily because I know this is controversial in that Star Wars is sort of for kids universally, that inner kid in all of us, but I found it to be just a children's show that I couldn't get into. Clone Wars, Rebels, all that jazz, which is fine for what it is, but I couldn't care. Okay, so it's Anakin. All right, that's cool. Mara Jade, yeah. Where's some Mara Jade? We need some fucking Mara Jade. I mean, come on. Come on. Luke marries a hot redhead. Come on. And the super chat, $6.99 Canadian from Rogue Rainbow. When I was a kid, I called the ATST the Chicken Walker. I think we all did. Because that is totally what it is. It's the motherfucking Chicken Walker. Yes, they have chickens in a galaxy far, far away. A long time ago. This was Yoda in Phantom Menace.
And to wrap it up, what is the title of episode 9?
The worst story told since the Bible, aka The Rise of Skywalker. God, this quiz sucked!
The Rise of Skywalker, marking the end of the Skywalker saga.
Thank you for coming this far. Now,
I mean, technically, by The Last Jedi, there were no Skywalkers alive, yeah? So, I mean, well, I guess Leia technically is a Skywalker, but the same Rey, it's like, but then she died anyway, so, and definitely by the end of, by that point, it's none less, so. Now you want to watch a train wreck? Let me do this Harry Potter quiz. I don't know shit. The only thing I know is that the T at the end of Voldemort is not supposed to be pronounced. And it's funny because that goes into that thing of that trend of I know more about things I don't even like than people who like the things do sometimes. This weird phenomena that happens. It's stuff I just don't care about. I'll have useless information that even people who actually like it don't know or don't acknowledge. So yeah, that was a thing that we did together. Truce at Bakura, the Bounty Hunter Wars, Shadows of the Empire. Oof. Truce at Bakura and Shadows of the Empire. Just love the idea of Truce at Bakura. I think just the Shadows of the Empire having that entire side story back in the day was just awesome. Awesome. It's nice how it fit in with everything. But of course we lost some magic when Disney took over. So here's the question. And I guess we're just going to have to ride out the delay a bit. We've been going for just over an hour. Do we want to move to Hovind? Do we want to move to something else silly? Does anyone have any video suggestions? You think they might want to see? Any kind of fun they might want to have? Because I've still got some energy. Not much, but I've got some. Read Truce of Bakura, played Shadows of the Empire, but preferred the X-Wing and Dark Forces games. Those were something great. Those were something great. Son of Dathomir is great. One vote from Ambushed for Hovind. Anyone. Do his latest Why Am I Baptist? Okay. Hovind is live with lousy audio as usual. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was planning probably tomorrow to go over some of his lousy audio editions. Not a Dr. Kent Bovind, yes. Clean my cat's litter box. Make me. Kent just went live too. Yeah, he does pick 7 p.m., doesn't he? Well, damn it, I muted myself. I was saying, give me a second here. Ba, ba, ba.
Used to be a seabed. After the flood, the hills rose and the valleys fell. So it says in Psalm 104. During the flood, the mountains arose, the valleys sank down.
What the hell?
Of the earth was
Hang on, I
like
just
an eggshell,
maximized my own damn. There we go.
around till they settle into place. Also, the plates may have been. Oh, what happened here? Moving quickly at that time. You guys doing something over there?
No, you're good, Doc.
I am? Okay, it disappeared on me. Okay. Pushing it higher. The flood rapidly buried and preserved many plants and animals. This is why we have so many examples. Creatures don't normally fossilize. Good point. Arthur Keith, who wrote the foreword to Darwin's book, said, evolution is unproved and unprovable. We believe it because the only alternative is
Oh,
creation,
this guy.
and that's unthinkable.
This guy.
Arthur Keith said, under no stretch of the imagination can war be regarded as an ethical process.
So,
Yet,
God damn it, I keep muting myself when I'm not supposed to. He's doing the same crap he always does. So we are going to go back. Share videos. We got videos. What was it, a live stream where he talked about him being Baptist? Or you're gonna have to help, Ambushed. You're gonna have to help because I don't know where the hell it was in here, and I need it. I need to know where the hilarity of Hovind is, because everything about Hovind is stupid. Are you poor? Addressing the rumors again. So let me guess. Seth has disappeared. That would be our luck. Yeah, it was his live stream from last night, but he has 2 of them, and one is called Test Run, and it's the other one. Yeah, okay. Well, we're going to go back to live, and we're going to hit this test run.
finally find me guilty.
And so, there's no audio here. It just comes in at a point, just out of the blue. I mean, seriously, just nothing.
I did not break any laws. They broke 100 laws to put.
And you love that. It comes in. The audio finally cuts in, and he's rambling on about his fucking trial. Again. Because this is what he does. This is his entire life. It's amazing. absolutely amazing. You know, I should look and see if Kiwi Farms is actually aware of Kent Hovind. I'm sure they are, but I don't go on there, like, ever, to really look up any info on anything. But I wonder what they have to say about this guy, if they are fully aware.
Put me in prison. I had to call 3 juries to finally find me guilty. Yep. I think Trump, everybody should call Trump and say, would you investigate Kent Hovind's case? Go to Kent Hovind is innocent.
Oh God, look, they're having to go through restream like I am, just toggling stuff. Like, this is what also confuses me on these things. They have got a recording of the fucking screen handling restream is what's streaming the broadcast. It makes no sense. No sense whatsoever the way they've got stuff set up. Yet somehow it's apparently necessary for smug ass here to hear things and see things and all that shit. Again, is a one-trick pony, always has, always will be. Victoria is saying hello. And Disappeared is very much still alive. Yeah, this lag is insufferable. Like, we're talking, this seems like shit's like a minute delayed here. This is slowing everything down far more than it should. Don't suppose you want to revisit Professor Dave and not a Kent for the entertainment value? I do. I desperately do want to look over that one. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. In fact, I think we're going to plan that for tomorrow. Yeah. So let's get a little further in this. I don't plan on going through the whole thing, but let's just have some fun for a while.
.net, watch the videos on there and say, wow, Trump and his lawyers you guys need to investigate this. That judge ought to be impeached and fired. And the U.S. attorney, the one died, hung himself, but it's a lot of evil and corruption in the federal system. I was just simply pointing out that evolution is the philosophy behind the New World Order. They want everybody to get a mark.
And we're supposed to take you seriously, Kent, when you say shit like this with a straight face. It'd be cute if it wasn't so pathetic.
Mark in their head or in, not on. New Bibles say on the hand. No, King James says in the hand or in the forehead. It'll be a Neuralink. But
so it correlates with the money.
Yes, and it used to be barcodes, and then it was, Wi-Fi, and 5G gives you the Rona, and SIM cards, and packs of bubble gum, and fucking monster cans having 666 on them, and what is it next week with you fuckers? It's always something.
Because a lot of these people have turned to be evil because of the money that supports their...
Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. All evil.
So they blew up the Georgia...
Yep, that's why you're poor as dirt, Kent. That's why you structured your cash withdrawals. That's why you've got all that stuff around you, and that's why you've got that big-ass compound that you don't bother selling off land of it. Oh, wait, did I say selling off because that involves profit? I mean donating off area of it. No. You sure keep it all for yourself. Because it's valuable, isn't it? Yeah. Make sure them donations keep coming. Make sure you get your DVD sales and the like. Yeah. But, you don't like money, Kent. You don't like money at all.
Guidestones, because the Georgia Guidestones told the truth. And they try to cover all this.
And that's the craziest thing, that Musk is, MAGA obsessed. He's right there up Trump's ass. And it's like, dude, you're not even American. Get the fuck out of here. This is a politically incorrect phrase to say, but in the case of Elon Musk, it becomes okay to say, Elon Musk needs to go back to Africa. Yeah, I fucking said it. Take his ass back to South Africa, where he's from, get the fuck out of the United States, don't fucking want him here, take his shitty ass rockets with him, and go fuck yourself. And his fucking cars, and anything else he fucking bought, because he didn't come up with anything except fucking PayPal. He just had the money to buy other shit and take credit for it. Funded SpaceX, like the scientists there doing all the damn work. Take them, transplant them to any other company, same results. So it's not something unique to them, but I've already spent a live stream complaining about the cult of SpaceX. Not about to do it here. We're complaining about the cult of HOVIND. as this guy rambles on about something in the background. Harvin.
Is the root of all evil. All evil.
So they blew up the Georgia Guidestones because the Georgia
Yep.
Guidestones.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Talking about the Georgia Guidestones. Those don't exist anymore, you dumbasses.
Told the truth, and they tried to cover all
They were put up by some fucking nut job anyway.
this stuff up as it was all happening. So we know that
Yep.
we're living in.
We're in the end times, it's going to get really bad, and all you can do is be faithful to the end. I don't think you can go hide from them. Just keep serving God. Yes, sir. Brother, stay up from the front. I can't hear you back there.
I just want to say I'm sorry, Dad.
Uh-oh. We got some breaking news here from Sydney Raptor. 5G causes nausea. Shortness of breath. Shortness of breath too. 5G causes nausea, shortness of breath, tunnel vision, joint pain, loss of consciousness, and that's why most rockets climb it up to 4G. This is true. And if you really do things right, like the shuttle, get about 3G. The motherfucking Titan II launching Gemini, that thing got up to like 7G. Like normally it's 8 minutes to orbit, 12 minutes on a Saturn V, I think about 9 minutes on a Saturn 1B. Atlas was about 10 minutes maybe. Titan, 5-6 minutes and you're in orbit. I mean, you are riding a straight up ICBM. Not that you weren't with Atlas, but Atlas was just a little different with the stage and nav design. But Titan II, that motherfucker was booking it. Gemini, that was some peak space right there. That's all I'm saying. Fucking love the Gemini program. Gus Grissom's book, Gemini, published right after he died. And sadly, it's kind of a rare book because it didn't get too many republications. And also, since it was published after he died, there's no way to get an autographed copy. If you ever find an autographed copy of Gus Grissom's Gemini, it is definitely a hoax. Yeah, incredible read. One of my favorite books all time. Like I keep a copy closer to me than I do the Bible. Real talk, because Gus is my hero. But again, that's neither here nor there. I love space. I don't like Kent, but we laugh at Kent, so we're gonna laugh at Kent.
It hurts my heart. I didn't even know that happened to you. And I'm so sorry
Yep.
to hear that.
While I was in prison for 9 years, they moved me 32 times. They call it diesel therapy, because that's usually where prisoners get killed while they're being moved around. With some of the.
From Deviant Outcast. Gang it. Fuck's sake, YouTube. I've told you to always notify me when Krisu goes live, yet you don't. You insubordinate, egregious, malfunctioning disaster of broken code. If it's any consolation, the first hour consisted of me reacting to and answering a terrible Star Wars quiz. So you didn't miss anything of value other than some Star Wars chatter. So anyone who stuck around for the Star Wars chatter gets bonus HOVIND.
The really bad guys. Federal prison's not as bad, but they're hoping, I think.
Doc, I have a question for you.
Yep.
I used to believe that
Titan II GLV was such an amazing vehicle. I feel so amazed to be living near the only publicly open silo left in the U.S. That and Pima Air and Space. Hell yeah. I'm glad you get to live near those and can appreciate them for what they are historically and as machines. Because we all know I absolutely fucking love awesome ass machines. And as much as I love the Titan II, Titan 4, Titan 4B especially, absolute favorite launch system ever. Titan 3E also. The whole Titan family, sure. Titan 3 though, pretty damn awesome. Titan 4, god damn. So I want to go to the museum in Ohio where they got a whole Titan 4 and just take it all in. Just appreciate the beauty of it. Fucking love it. Fun fact, if you watch, I think it's the documentary Bowling for Columbine, they show that they do a bit in, because it was Littleton, Colorado, the Columbine incident happened. And I promise this relates. There's a scene that's at, I think Lockheed Martin at the time, and you actually see segments of the upper stage of what would become a Titan 4 being moved for an eventual launch coming up. It was another year or two before the Titans were discontinued when that film was made, a few years. It was 2005, the last one flew. And yeah, I thought that was so funny watching. I'm like, hey, that's the upper stage of a Titan II. There's an LR91 engine. It's just in the middle of a Columbine documentary, you know. Lies about to tell about how many souls won the Lord. Oh yeah, here we go. We're gonna get some good HOVInd. Silo actually has a missile in it, obviously without the warhead. Yeah, and they've got the doors permanently half open so that it simultaneously can't be used to launch the vehicle, but also open to show that the silo is not hiding an active weapon, even though you could see it there. You could see if operations were going on. It's weird stuff we've done with the Soviets, with Russia when Cold War, you know, when we started limiting things, Soviet Union at the time. We did that with a lot of silos and the like, would have them in a permanently sort of locked state. It's cool shit.
Rapture would be a pre-tribulation rapture, because that's what I was taught by a lot of different people.
Right.
When you went to prison and then you studied it out for yourself, how long do you think it took you before you kind of realized that what it was saying in Matthew 24 and all that we are going to be here for the
Well, I preached at a church, Canoga Park Baptist Church, Canoga Park, California. Roland Rasmussen was the pastor, and he gave me his book that he wrote on the post-trib rapture. I didn't believe it. I was in prison. I had plenty of time. I read the book 5 times, and I
Ken, I don't think you've read any book one time.
slowly had to admit I've been taught something and have been teaching something wrong for 40 years. We're here for the tribulation. What happened in 1830, a 15-year-old girl in Scotland had a dream that we get raptured out before the tribulation. She told her dream to some people, and
I have a dream that we get raptured out before the tribulation. And everyone's going to take it seriously. Also, apparently, Scottish girls talk like this now.
they told it to some preachers, and that got into the Schofield Bible and the Dake Study Bible, and they started teaching, pre-trib rapture, and it's just not true. Our songbook is full of songs about that. It could happen in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye. Soon and very soon, I'm going to see the King. It all sounds great.
But you're not a death cult. Remember, people, Christianity's not a death cult, even though they're obsessed with the aspect of, dying in this tribulation, this rapture, and Jesus coming back. And, but it's about eternal life. And it's like, yeah, but you have to die to get that eternal life. So it's still a death cult.
Great. It's just not true. We're here for the whole tribulation, all 7 years. Yep.
Do you believe in the chosen ones, the 144?
There will be 144,000 Jewish witnesses. I cover all that in my video series.
Zach, you're complaining about derailing a stream. Complaining about derailing one of my streams, where I am known to go off on tangents just because I fucking feel like it, as a rule, knowing good and well I'm derailing my own stream. And you're gonna apologize? You don't derail the stream. Excuse me. Everyone knows and loves, at least I hope you do, those moments when I get super happy about something, super into something, and just can go on. Y'all love those moments because they make me me. They give you a chance to experience, who I am as a person beyond tearing into Kent HOVInd, because for some reason it's so much fucking fun to do in moderation. Kent HOVInd is kind of like drinking. In moderation, it's fun. Do it too much, you're going to cause some permanent damage to yourself. You got to be careful. So no, don't apologize for derailing things, because you get me talking about a spacey subject that I really, really like. I'm going to be happy. And I want to share that happiness. And no, you cannot be humble around here. You must have an ego to rival HOVInd, or else.
And in my book and on my chart here, they are chosen because God never leaves the world
He's bringing out the chart
without a witness. Somebody will be here to witness for the Lord. Most of the Christians are probably going to be wiped out, and the 144,000. The 2 witnesses are called.
No comment.
And they witnessed during the time of the wrath of God. But yeah, I've got that all spelled out in all the verses on here in great detail. And
Bring the wrath of God to the ones that are not going to change.
yeah,
Yeah, and Balthazar decided to destroy the Bloodstone and Bloodstone Fen and absorb its power to gain even more power for himself, already being one of the 6 human gods. He still somehow craved more power and eventually realized that going after the Elder Dragons, such as Kralkatorrik, would be the pinnacle of him gaining supremacy over everything else in all of not just Tyria, but the mists in general. Actually, it was Primordus he was mainly interested in, and then he eventually went on to Kralkatorrik. Didn't so much deal with Jormag, but Balthazar wanted to go south. Point is, I've got cool stories in my favorite fan fiction, or favorite fiction too. Way better stories. So up yours, Kent. There you go. There's the Guild Wars reference. Knew we'd squeeze it in somewhere. Also, fuck Balthazar. He's a dick.
The wrath of God comes in the day of the Lord. We're not here for that. We're here for the first part. We're here for the rest of the day of the Lord. Yeah, it would take hours to explain. I did the whole video series on that, and
okay, then just tell people, watch my DVD number 467,952.5, Hovin, and shut the fuck up.
you can get it for $100, then return it and get your money back.
Do you believe that you were chosen to witness what you went through?
I think I've tried for 56 years now. February 9th was my spiritual birthday. It'll be 56 years.
I just thought about something. It'd be trivial for them to get a microphone set up that would pick up like everyone talking, that would be an omnidirectional one, like a conference phone would use. That type of setup with compression and the like. For moments when people talk like this, or just for him to, just straight up use for everything. Sure, it'd pick up everything, but I mean, it could eventually be configured properly, and you could actually hear what people have to say. It'd be great. Just switch it over there, and in a situation where they need the extra audio channel, just add it in. It's not that hard. It can't possibly be that hard or that expensive. Shit at DAL is so needlessly complicated at the tech front. It amazes me how they've managed to make it worse for this long. My streams are of better quality, Kent. My streams.
I've failed a million times, but I've tried hard.
Yeah, you're going to fail 1,000,001.
I think to say, Lord, I want to please you. I want to serve you. I want your will. And so God puts you through things.
Did you guys hear that?
Want to please you. I want to serve you a million times.
Yeah.
But I've tried hard, I think, to say, Lord, I want.
Yeah, we're going to do the thing. Gotta go down. Playback speed, 0.25.
Thing to say, Lord, I want to please you.
There is the title of the newest Kent Hovind album, Lord, I Want to Please You, with such jock jams as Me and Jesus in the Sheets, Don't Cry Tonight, Oh My Lord, and Pucker Up Buttercup. I don't know.
I want to serve you. I want your will. And so God puts you through things that you don't want to go through sometimes. And I don't think Daniel wanted to go to.
Yeah, they did have that boom mic for a while, and then he switched back to the lav. Yeah, it's like, come on. The boom mic was a good idea, but not good enough for Kent.
Babylon and be made a eunuch. I don't think anybody wants that, okay? And Joseph's own brothers sold him into slavery in Egypt. I don't think he liked that, but God used it in a great way. So God can use, if you keep a right attitude, the Bible says all things work together for good to them that love God, to them that are called according to his purpose. It doesn't say everything's good. It says it works together for good. Like if you came to my house and knocked on the door and said, Brother Hovind, I'm hungry. I said, here's a cup of flour. Eat this. Oh, how about a cup of Crisco? Oh, how about buttermilk? If I give you individual things that taste terrible, I say, I don't want that. But if you mix them all together, you make biscuits. All those bad tasting items work together for biscuits.
I especially love that the audio is just plain off sync from the bastard ass method they've got, and not to mention the garbage quality created because they're streaming out the restream feed. So we're getting, the screen capture of restream. It's so fucking weird.
So sometimes bad things happen, and you say, well, why did this happen? I don't know, but keep serving God anyway. While I was in prison,
2 orders of God coming right up.
I led 800 men to the Lord, had Bible study 4 times a day.
800 men. There it is. There's what we were on the lookout for.
While I was in prison, I led 800 men to the Lord, had Bible
Sure you did, Kent. Sure you did. Hey, Kent, lying is a sin.
study 4 times a day. I wrote 37 books, earned 2 more doctor's degrees, and said, okay, Lord.
Oh, you earned 2 more. I thought you said you had 1 earned, 3 honorary, or whatever. Your degrees are all bullshit anyway. Up yours.
I don't want to be here, but I'm here, so what do you do? And if had I not gone, I probably would not have changed my theology and seen the truth. Matthew 24, Jesus' disciples asked him the question very clearly at the beginning of chapter 24. Lord, when are you coming back, and what's the sign we should watch for?
If it had been for Cotton Eye Jesus, I don't know. I never was able to come up with a good one for that. But where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Cotton Eye Joe. Zus. There you go. There. Whatever. The stream has been derailed since moment 0. It don't matter. We're just goofing around.
Mark 13, same thing. Lord, when are you coming? What's the sign? Luke 20.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be a bit different. You're going to get signs that you'll recognize when he's coming, okay? You'll know. Trust me, Kent. You'll know. And then you'll feel the holy goodness. Oh.
21. When are you coming? What's the sign? He talks about the tribulation for the next 15 or 20 verses. And at the end of each passage, he says, well, in Matthew, immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun shall be darkened and the moon shall not give her light. There you go. That's the sign. Sun and the moon going dark. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds. Remember when Jesus went up in a cloud, the angels appeared to the disciples and said, why are you standing looking up? This same Jesus is going to come back just like he went up in the clouds. So he tells them, I'm coming after the tribulation, when the sun and the moon go dark, coming in the clouds. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect. It couldn't be more clear.
Yeah. Couldn't be more clear. Okay. Yeah. And then the dragon cycle started, and the elder dragons awoke, starting with Zaitan, the raising of Or. I told you about that, right? I explained to you, Kent, how Vizier Kilbrone, to stop the Char invasion of Or, wound up destroying Or by reading from sacred scrolls that doomed the population, yet simultaneously did stop the Char invasion, scorched earth. And then a couple of 100 years later, the elder dragon of death, Zaitan, raising up, causing Or to come up as well, changed the water levels across Tyria. And, also made Or above the surface again and brought up the undead armies of Zaitan, the Risen, and they started plaguing Tyria, and that's kind of how the dragon cycle, the beginning of the end of the dragon cycle, with the other dragons waking up and shit happening across Tyria. It's a terrible explanation of the basic or early stuff for Guild Wars 2, but still a more fun story than whatever the hell you're talking about with trumpets and shit.
And I missed it because I had been taught something wrong. You precondition people to believe what they're seeing, Yep.
Past, present, future. And so do you live in the moment, or is it all one as time?
So, talking about deities is kind of funny. In the in Guild Wars 2, the ghosts of the kings of Ara, Or is the name. Ara is the holy city. I think I said it interchangeably. You can interact with them. at points. And at a point, they are confused because you will bring up a deity, Cormyr, and they know nothing of her because, or sunk back when Abaddon was still one of the six. But Abaddon was banished, and that's the whole plot of Guild Wars Nightfall, is that Cormyr eventually absorbs Abaddon's power, thus ascending to deification. But Abaddon, yeah, was banished, so they have no idea of this because they've been out of the loop for 300 years. You know, they fucking died. They were under the ocean. They weren't doing shit. Then Zaitan came and did his shit. You know, it's awesome storytelling. Killer universe. Way better than this crap. And that's why I bring it up all the time, because it's so cool. But yeah, I thought that was a little funny quip. It's like, Cormyr? Who's Cormyr? You know, they don't know. And it's like, oh yeah. Also, that creates an interesting thing that in the Guild Wars universe, again, after Path of Fire, there are only 5 human gods again, and they've all left Tyria, so spoiler alert. But no one has the heart to tell them, yeah, Balthazar went rogue, he kind of became horribly evil, and we had to kill him. And then, you know, other shit happened. And by the way, I've got my own Elder Dragon, so watch out. Because that's a thing that happens. And yeah. Do a lot of dragon killing in Guild Wars.
Well, God is not stuck in time. This is not 2024 in heaven. God is right now standing at your funeral.
My God, it's Laser Rot in the show. Hey, buddy. I haven't seen you for a while, especially since I left Twitter. X, happy to see you. Welcome to some, not even hedonistic bullshit, some outright blasphemous bullshit, because I'm just a freaking goofball. Yeah. You're in for a treat if you stick around. Mr. Super Drunk. Hope you're still enjoying them laser discs and stuff, because I miss my laser disc collection. I hope to eventually be reunited with it. Really miss my laser discs and my HD DVDs.
He sees it all at the same time. My brain can't handle what all's going on at one time in the world, you know. God's
Your brain can't handle anything. What are you talking about?
got everything in the world at all times, and he focuses on all of it at the same time. We're stuck in time, not God. Have you ever wished you could go back in time just 5 seconds to undo the dumb thing you just did? Yeah.
Yeah, like start watching a Ken Hovind video?
I got several scars I would not have had if I just had 5 seconds to go back and say, what did I do that for? You know? So I think we need to realize God.
Smoke a pack a day. Hovind's coughing up a lung. Can't mute his microphone. Hovind. Hovind.
God is outside of time, space, matter. We are stuck in all 3 of those. Okay, yes, sir.
Do you think that the 2 witnesses of Revelation are going to be Enoch and Elijah?
I think it's Enoch and Elijah only because those 2 never died. And the Bible says it's appointed unto man once to die. So,
okay. So we got 2 people who never died. Cool.
I couldn't prove that. It just sounds reasonable. Okay? All right. Any other questions?
Yeah. Go away.
We got 2 guys on the keyboard over there now. He ought to be able to fix everything, right? Okay, is it coming in clear? Here. How many fingers am I holding up over there? 3.
Hey, Kent. How many fingers am I holding up? Audience, take a guess as to how many fingers I'm holding up. And for bonus points, tell me which finger it probably is. First one to get it right gets a cookie.
3? No, 5. We got 2 down here. Okay. Okay. Okay, any more questions or comments?
Yeah, you suck.
Here, you atheists, here's your chance. Come on now. I said, prove me wrong. Evolution's the dumbest religion in the world. Yes, sir.
There's a lot of questions. We'll be here all night.
Be here all night, yeah.
And there's a lot
Oh yeah, I forgot this was supposed to be one of his live call-in thingies.
of things that I hold back, honestly, that I wouldn't question in here just because I fear judgment myself.
Zach, you're very, very wrong, my friend. That is not the number of fingers I was holding up.
But so there's a lot of things that I've experienced that I would not speak of, like, you know, to someone that is been molded into one religion or, you know, and not know a worldly view of things or have experienced the same type of experiences that led me to, you know, question these things about Christianity and, you know, the
Oh my God, this
differences
is
in
so
churches,
boring.
how one church talks bad about the other, or
Oh,
one
they all
church
do that.
says
Yep.
this is the true church, and to me,
Up and his
God speaks to
porn
whoever he
pop up
wants to me.
came up,
You
and they
know,
got a
if I
gingerly
look for
mouse over
God
it,
in
like they're
that
gonna hurt the mouse.
in
They
their
just go swish swish.
conversation or in that person, and what I'm judging or what I'm seeing, because seeing is judging,
Right.
you know.
Well-
And we have to kind of like use God as a tool.
All right, yes, Kent and his five
show
fingers.
us the
He thinks
goodness
he's funny.
Right.
you know,
He
to
thinks he's
stay on
very
the
funny.
positive, thought of it, you know.
Let me guess,
Well, when
machine broke too.
Adele,
Probably.
this came from France, came this morning, and I gave him part of the tour, and we were
Gave him only part of the tour, not the whole thing. Yes, it would be a dumb religion, a very dumb indeed, mostly because it has none of the characteristics of religion. It's a scientific theory, so calling religion is dumb, Kent. Yeah, seriously, that's a good point. Calling evolution a religion is dumb because it's not a religion. It meets none of the criteria from anyone who actually knows a thing.
waiting for
Oh,
you, actually.
frick.
And I explained, he said, I told him I was a Baptist. He said, what is that? Okay, because he'd been Muslim and then converted to Catholic. Our church is Genesis Baptist Church.
You ever notice he always says that? He's like converted to Catholic. It's never Catholicism. It's like he doesn't understand that word. Catholicism. That is what you call the religious denomination of somebody who would identify as Catholic. They follow Catholicism, the doctrine, or is my understanding of how English works. I could be mistaken in that. Although I don't know. You would be the master, Kent, since according to your court disposition, you somewhat speak English.
Okay? And I gave him a little history here. I like labels on cans. I would not want to go to the pantry and have all the cans, have all the labels taken off, and just write on there food, 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 food. Of course it's food. What kind of food? I want to know a little more detail, you know. What?
When George W. came to Canada, he thanked all of us that came out to wave with all five fingers. The cleverest thing I heard him say. And honestly, in a way, I kind of miss GW. I mean, it was still Republican bullshit, but it was like, if I'd have known at all what we were going to have, I mean, it wasn't even really that bad, all things considered. But, you know, viewing history with rose-tinted glasses, I don't know. Still sucked at the time. Economy was shit. Major shit. But we're not going to reminisce about those days of my late high school and early adult years.
What's in the can, okay? 4,000 recognized religions in the world. Probably more than that. 10,000 denominations, okay? God made the world. He owns it. He wants us to know him. He wants us to know. So he revealed it, but we've sinned, and we need to
If he wants us to know, he ain't doing a good job of it.
be saved. So now what? And I went all this with him. In the first 2,000 years of world history, God dealt with, from Adam to Abraham, he worked with mankind in general. Then he called Abraham and said, I'm going to make...
Dang it. I was going to make a wrestling joke there, but I forgot the dude's name who plays mankind. And I used to always know it. It was one of those things I just always knew. Damn it. Damn it. I was going to make a good wrestling joke there. Fuck.
you a special nation, and you're going to bring my word to the whole world. So we had about a 2,000-year history of the Jews being responsible for spreading God's word. And they did not do a very good job. They hogged it and said to themselves. Okay?
Oh, up yours, Kent. Up yours so hard. By the way, for anyone out there who may be a bit more kosher, happy second night of Hanukkah. I think that's appropriate to phrase it that way. I have a really positive opinion of Hanukkah, like symbolically, just really, really. I don't know. It's just one of those things that I'm just like, I like it. You know, does that make sense? Just the symbolism of it, and the way it is as a tradition, that it's just I'm just like, I like this. I don't know. It's weird. Maybe it also has to do with me being big into World War II and stuff, and thinking about the fact that open celebrations of such were verboten. Um, Also, Jews couldn't own typewriters at a point, and it's weird because I have a thing for typewriters. And I've got a menorah in my room here because actually, previous years I've done a symbolic Hanukkah. It's a long story. It suffices to say, yeah, I'm a big fan of certain types of symbolism and stuff, and so yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I just thought I'd share. Because Kent, it's weird for someone who's supposed to love God's chosen people and supposed to love God so much that he sure talks a lot of shit about the Jewish population. Just so fucking weird how so many Christians are anti-Semitic. And like, I can kind of get it, but I can't when you look at the big picture. But that's just me.
Okay. So then when they rejected the Messiah, Jesus, when he came, God said, okay, I'm going to set you Jews aside. You're the natural olive branch.
Yes, Mick Foley, thank you. It being so fucking important to know God, that old fart is pretty fucking elusive. One could even easily come to wonder if he really wanted us to know at all, or, bear with me, if he even exists. More wisdom from deviant outcasts. That's why I love my community. They just go at it. Y'all are great.
I'm going to take you off and graft in the wild olive branch, the Gentiles. And so it's been our job for the last 2,000 years to spread the gospel, and we have not done a very good job either. So,
well, you don't do a good job of anything except being boring as fuck, Kent.
Let's see. They gave them one commandment: don't eat off the tree, and they did it anyway. So Adam and Eve.
Yeah, and God also lied about that. Lied about aspects of that to people. And also, apparently, you can hide from the deity. I don't get that, And this art is just weird. It's very unsettling. All of this.
Made fig leaf clothes. God said no. Something has to die. Right at the very beginning, he began teaching them the only way to be saved is to have a substitute.
the only myth.
Right at the very beginning, he began teaching them the only way.
Kent, you have a little Freudian slip there? Teaching them the only myth? Yeah, you began teaching them myths, all right. And yeah, Kent's God is Kent. Kant. I called him Kent. Kant's God is Kant, remember? Yuck. There you go. You got the redneck ass goofy voice. Yeah, Kent Hovind's deity is himself.
Way to be saved is to have a substitute, a bloody sacrifice.
Yeah, that's not disturbing at all, Kent.
Because to a perfect God, our works, our good works look bad. Okay?
Then why bother doing anything good, Kent? Oh, right. You took that as a challenge. And you still sucked at that, because you could be a lot worse. Not going to say the ways you could be worse, because I don't want to give you ideas, but you could be a lot more horrible of a human than you already are.
6,000-year battle. Is man saved by good works or by faith in a sacrifice? Then Cain and Abel come along. Same thing. Cain brought his fruit and vegetables. Hey, God, look what I did for you.
Hey, Kent, who did Cain go off and marry?
You should accept me because I'm a good boy. God wouldn't accept it. Abel brought a sacrifice. Because, see, we've all broken the commandments. We're all guilty. And so...
Well, you see, this was before God had the splendid idea of inventing the 15-foot penis. Back in those days, it was only, 4-inch penises. Because, penises offended him. That's why he had to have foreskins ripped off. Which, why the fuck would there be a part of your body that God gave you that you would need to remove? What the fuck is up with that? That's so stupid. So stupid. Is that like is it like the little pull tab to activate the try me function on like a toy in the store? You gotta pull this tab before you let the kid play with the you know what? We're not even going there. Ugh. Sorry, I worked that into an analogy that was no bueno. I apologize. Some stupid shit either way. Stupid shit is all I'm saying. Ugh.
Here we are at a time when everybody needs to realize we're sinners You need to trust Jesus Christ's sacrifice. So I told him about this little
I mean, there's a lot of cultures out there that were big on sacrifice in one way or another. It's just kind of one of those quirks that we just kind of seem to all have. Then eventually, societies grew out of. About when they became societies.
little slice called the church age history.
Oh no, I'm tired. I'm just rambling here.
Okay. At the beginning, the disciples were simply called disciples. Okay, let's see. And Jesus taught them for a while, and then he went back to heaven. He rode into the Jerusalem to be crowned king, and they rejected him and crucified him instead.
Wah, wah, wah.
Let's see. The disciples were called Christians at Antioch. First, they were just the disciples. Then they began calling them Christians. And it was a mocking term. Oh, you're Christian, trying to act like Christ. So the churches, the Christians differed over different doctrines. They argued about different things. What do you believe on A, B, C? And I went over that with him. About the different doctrines.
You can't hacking up a lung there.
Which means teaching, like to indoctrinate, okay, to teach. They were astonished at his doctrine. Oh, that's not the verse.
Zach bringing in the perfectly timed atomic bombs of truth on Kent. Divergent evolution. It's almost as if religions evolve over time. Funny how that works.
Verse I wanted to get to. Here's what I wanted to get to. Let's see. Take me just a minute. Slide number 940.
Damn it, I had myself muted. I was saying, there goes the audio as Kent middles around his slides.
Where did it go?
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Kent's audio.
The religions. Okay. Slide number 1022. Alt TV. Hang on a second. 1022. Okay. He that is first in his own cause seemeth just.
Well, I know we've all been having fun, but I have a little situation with a cat that snuck out that needs attention. So that's going to run this stream to its end, because I'm not going to subject y'all to waiting while I go outside and try to get that damn cat in. I did have fun. Appreciate the super chats. I will catch y'all tomorrow.